When you have a theme you like, but it needs some customization that cannot be done through the Drupal admin interface, you can build a new theme on top of the theme you already like. This is known as creating a sub-theme, which means it will be built on top of an existing theme we affectionately call a parent theme. Producing a sub-theme is the preferred method over duplicating or hacking other themes. In this video, I will explain the basics of sub-themes in Drupal. If you've been following along in the previous chapters, we've already actually been introduced to a couple sub-themes. Let's see who they are. Starting from the Drupal Administer screen, click on Themes, scroll down, and two themes here, Marvin and Manelli, are actually legitimate sub-themes. Marvin is a sub-theme of Chameleon, while Manelli is actually a sub-theme of Garland. Any theme could be sub-themed in Drupal. Sub-themes are created and installed like every other theme. Let's see what makes a sub-theme tick. So I'm going to open up my Drupal 6 folder. I'm going to visit the Themes folder, and I'm going to go into Garland, then Manelli. I'm going to open up the manelli.info file, and I'm going to show you what actually defines Manelli as a sub-theme to Garland. This manelli.info file is actually the theme declaration for Manelli, so it has all the properties that Drupal is expecting to reside in a theme info file, so it can understand what is the theme and what parts make up the theme. So a quick review. We see the name Manelli, description, which is a long sentence, version, which we'll come back to later, core, which equals 6.x, so that means this theme will only work for Drupal 6. And we see here a very important line, base theme equals Garland. This is something that we're going to include in the next movie into our own sub-theme, since we'll be basing ours on Garland as well. So before I go on to the other stuff below the base theme property, let me show you where you can actually see a whole list of all the properties available to a theme.info file. So I'm going to visit the Drupal website, and in the theme guide for Drupal 6, there is a page that actually defines all the properties and explains them, so you can actually go through and choose the properties that make sense for your theme info file and go ahead and copy, paste, and then edit as necessary. So let's actually just do a quick review. We see name, description, version, core, engine, base theme, just like we saw in the manelli.info file. And if you scroll down a little more, we actually see descriptions and examples for each property. We'll be coming back to this page when we're building our own theme.info file in the next movie. So I'm going to go back to my manelli.info file in my Dreamweaver to show you a couple points that you need to know about sub-themes. The first is, if you notice on line 7 of manelli.info, there's a style sheets declaration. We'll be actually doing this ourselves in one of the next videos. We see that manelli.css is used here. Well, let's go actually enable Manelli real quick in our Drupal site. So going back to the theme administration page, I'm going to enable Manelli and choose it as the default. I'm going to leave Garland enabled, and that's fine. I'm going to click Save Configuration. And now that Manelli is used for the home page, let's visit the home page, and let's view the source now of this screen. So let's go through and see how Drupal has actually assembled the style sheets for both the parent and sub-theme. Now remember, the parent theme is Garland, and the sub-theme is Manelli. We can see here in the list of CSS declarations that there are actually a couple style sheets for Garland. We see that themes Garland style.css is being loaded, and later Garland /print.css is also pulled in, and right after the styles sheet for Garland and before the print sheet is actually Manelli.css being loaded. So as you can see, the parent theme gets its styles loaded first, and then the sub theme gets its styles loaded right after. This is because CSS provides the capability to alter styles in a cascade. And that's exactly what the subtheme does to its parent theme. So I'm going to close this source file. I'm going to actually close my preview of the home page and reactivate Garland as our default theme before we go. So going back to the themes administration page, we're going to choose Garland as the default, and I'm going to disable Manelli. I'm going to click Save Configuration, and now we've gone back to just pure Garland. One final thing I want to point out about subthemes is, if you notice, Manelli is inside the Garland folder within Drupal core. Despite what you see here in the Drupal core, a subtheme should usually reside in its own folder separate from their parent theme, unless the two themes like Garland and Manelli are meant to be packaged together. When building subthemes based on a theme, say, downloaded from the internet, your subtheme is dependent on that parent theme. So what happens is when the parent theme needs to be updated or changed, and if you had duplicated that theme instead of create a proper subtheme, you have to go and apply all those changes to every instance of the theme. Instead, the proper way is to create a subtheme based on a parent theme. And when any changes need to happen in either theme, they can do so without affecting any of the other themes. So let's say your parent theme needs a fix. Well, you could fix the parent theme, and then every sub-theme after that would actually get the fix automatically applied upon refresh. Imagine if instead you chose to duplicate a theme, you would be stuck updating every copy of that theme, and that is not the Drupal way. Subthemes are good and should be always your first choice over duplicating any existing theme in Drupal.